Hey folks, this is Kalani. This is just getting silly now really, isn't it? Even more horrific vision changes, or I guess legendary cloak changes if we're being fair, are coming our way right now. Or at least right now if you're on the American realms when they come back up from maintenance. Yes, we have even more hotfixes with this weekly reset, including some massive changes to the legendary cloak grind, and we have some values for the previously talked about buffs to coalescing visions. So what are we waiting for? Let's jump right in. Let's start off by talking about the nerfs to the legendary cloak grind. Quite a few changes will be happening with this next reset. The number of coalescing visions you can earn will go up, which will give you access to more vessels of horrific visions and therefore more horrific vision runs per week, but the actual upgrades and quests for the legendary cloak progression are getting some very large nerfs. From rank 7 to 11, while you're collecting the pages for the Fear and Flesh book, previously you could only get 2 pages per run. I know some players were getting 3 pages very rarely. This was actually a bug that has since been fixed, but I guess they kind of liked the bug because they're going to implement it as an actual feature, except better. After this next reset, so today for North American servers, assuming you're watching this on Tuesday the 25th at any rate, and Wednesday the 26th for all of our friends back in Europe, after this reset, you'll be able to get 1 Fear and Flesh page from each bonus objective. If you're able to clear the 2 corrupted area objectives and the 2 lost area objectives, that will net you 4 pages per run total. That will cut some of your quest timers in half. The largest one requires 8 pages total, so instead of 4 runs, that can now take you just 2 runs, saving you 2 vessels for future quests in upcoming weeks. It also makes it a lot faster for anyone that needs to catch up on their cloak ranks. Instead of needing to set aside enough time to complete 4 runs, now you just have to complete 2 runs and you can move on to the next quest. No matter how you look at it, these changes just speed everything up. So that's kind of old news, but it is still incredibly relevant, and it doesn't stop there. We only had info about the Fear and Flesh pages before now, but the dev team made a blue post explaining that they will also be changing the requirements for ranks 13 to 15 of the legendary cloak progress. The Fear and Flesh changes are really nice, but the grind from rank 13 to rank 15 was going to be huge if they didn't swap anything around. The planned nerfs for this section are massive in comparison, honestly, and these nerfs will benefit everyone because the max rank available when this video goes live is rank 12. It's not going to be like the other changes where it only benefits the players who are behind. This will affect absolutely everyone. For rank 13 to 15, you can only get pages from the lost area objectives, so it's going to be significantly harder to actually progress these ranks if you aren't capable of full clearing your horrific visions just yet. Because the corrupted areas don't count anymore, we're back down to just 2 pages maximum for ranks 13 to 15. Don't worry about rank 12, if you haven't done the quest yet, you only need to complete 1 lost area objective for that entire rank. We also get a really powerful effect when we get to rank 12, or at least we did on the PTR. Hopefully it's still there, so this rank up is going to be awesome for everyone as well, and it's super quick and easy. So 1 run to get to rank 12, and then we have to collect pages yet again for rank 13, 14 and 15. For rank 13, we used to need 6 pages total, or a minimum of 3 horrific vision runs. That's been knocked down to just 4, saving us 1 run so far. That's a good start, but it gets better and better. Rank 14 used to require 12 pages for 6 runs total. That's crazy. 6 full visions, or at least 6 visions where you clear both lost objectives, but thankfully that's been knocked all the way down to just 6 pages, or 3 runs total. That's half of what it originally needed, and that's another 3 runs less for our grand total. With these 2 changes, we need 4 runs less overall when compared to before the nerfs, but that's still not even the big one. Rank 15 used to require 18 pages. 18 pages? That's 9 runs! Back at the start of this patch, we could only get 3 vessels per week if we did absolutely everything on offer. 9 runs would have taken us 3 whole weeks just to get to rank 15, and that's after the 12 pages for rank 14 and the 6 pages for rank 13. That's absolutely bonkers considering what you actually get for the upgrade. Rank 15 isn't super magical compared to anything else. It's just the end. Rank 12 is actually the big upgrade that we're waiting looking for. Again, assuming that hasn't changed from PTR, which it very well could have at this rate when you think about it. This system looks very different if you compare it to what we had to test on the PTR. But anyway, rank 15 was knocked down to 8 pages or 4 runs total. That's less than half of the original requirement. So every rank from here on out is going to be a lot easier and faster than we previously thought. And again, seeing as no one has these ranks yet, this will benefit absolutely every player who is upgrading their legendary cloak, which is great news. If you're curious, the old total of pages for these ranks was 36. At 2 pages per run, you'd be looking at 18 horrific vision runs where you clear both lost area objectives at the very least. With these nerfs in place, you have to collect 18 pages total or 9 horrific vision runs, so the entire last leg of this grind from 13 to 15 has been cut in half. It kind of begs the question though, why did they think the original values were a good idea? They can see how long it would take and how many runs we would need to do. They know how many runs we can achieve per week, they know how many coalescing visions we can earn, so it's not like this should be a surprise that we would have needed 18 runs or nearly 6 weeks of progress with the original coalescing vision earning rates to get the last 3 ranks of this 15 rank system. This is the whole reason why people started suggesting that we save up vessels as much as we can and only run enough horrific visions in any given week to get the next legendary cloak rank up. It was 1 per week, and if we could earn more vessels than we needed to spend to get that rank, you could just save them up because it was going to take so many runs to get to rank 15 when we finally got there. But you can almost throw that entire mindset out of the window. The most you would need is 4 runs in a week for the very last rank, and you can get 4 vessels of horrific visions incredibly easily inside 1 week of activities right now, so there's no reason to hold onto your vessels anymore. It's a fantastic change for sure. I just wish they had these values and numbers in place before the patch went live. We've seen so many changes over the last few weeks that could have been far more impactful if they were the baseline experience to begin with. But better late than never, I suppose. After we get to rank 15, we can start progressing the other part of the cloak system that allows us to add more corruption resistance to the cloak. Now, if we could only get a reliable way to actually get the corruptions we want. But I guess that's a topic for another video. The other update that we have more info on is the increase to the Coalescing Visions drop rates for various activities. If you missed this little snippet of news, basically daily quests and assaults now reward more Coalescing Visions. When this was first announced, that's all we knew. We didn't have any solid numbers or actual info on how much the increase was going to be, but now we do. In another blue post, and I guess now that it's Tuesday you can go see for yourself, the dev team said they were going to increase daily quest Coalescing Vision rewards by 50%. Right now they give 250 each, so a 50% increase would bump that up to 375, right? My math isn't completely off here. A 50% increase of 250 would be 125, which brings our total up to 375. That's a bit of a weird number. I always prefer multiples of 50 for this kind of thing. I guess it's easier to add up, or just it's nicer to look. I'm not too sure, maybe I'm just weird, but part of me hopes they bump it up to 400 per daily quest just so it's a nice round number. Either way, that's another huge increase on the daily quest reward when you consider that it started out at 50. I mean, obviously that wasn't enough in hindsight, but to end up at nearly 400 now per daily is kind of crazy. It's not just the daily quests though, both of the assaults will also be getting a boost to their Coalescing Vision rewards. The Black Empire Assault, the one that already rewards a full vessel of horrific visions, will now also reward you with 2,500 Coalescing Visions on top of the existing rewards. That's a quarter of the way to another full vessel and a 25% increase overall. A very large buff to say the least. And the other type of assault, the smaller faction assaults, they will now reward 6,500 Coalescing Visions, up from 5,500. We have access to 2 of these per week, so that's another 2,000 Coalescing Visions every single week that you complete both of the assaults. I was expecting something close to this for this buff, but the buff to the daily quest and the Black Empire Assault are quite a bit higher than I was expecting. An extra 125 Coalescing Visions per daily at 6 daily quests per day is another 750 if you get every single daily done. We also get more than 6 dailies sometimes, so that's kind of a minimum. If you do your dailies every day, that's over 5,000 Coalescing Visions per week extra. Add the 2,500 from the Black Empire Assault and another 2,000 from the Faction Assaults, and you have nearly 10,000 extra Coalescing Visions to play around with every single week, assuming you're doing everything possible to obtain this currency. That's a very interesting number, isn't it? It's almost like they want to give us exactly one more vessel of horrific visions every week to enter another horrific vision. These huge buffs will bring us up to the point where you could reliably farm 5 vessels in a week, giving you access to even more horrific visions to run. It also means that you can do less work, and by that I mean less daily quests, to actually get your 3 or 4 runs in for the week. I haven't done daily quests in quite a while now. I'll pick them back up on my alt sometime to get the rank 3 essence, but I'm really just not interested in them at the moment. I love that I can skip over them without having to worry about whether or not I'll have enough vessels to get my legendary cloak upgrades for the week, especially with the changes to the progress for the last ranks in that system as well. Even the buff to the daily quests probably won't change that for me, but maybe it's enough to get some other players back on the daily quest grind. At least if you're doing them for other reasons, like the reputation, they're going to be a bit more rewarding all around now, so that's nice. It's also nice to have actual numbers to look out for the buffs too, so that's why I included that little update in this video. But that's all the info we have for right now. What do you think of all of the changes to help us progress the legendary cloak faster? Why do you think they wanted it to take twice as long before pushing these nerfs? How do you feel about those Coalescing Vision buffs now that we actually have some numbers to look at? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.